How's it going, Alexander? Leonard Parker here. This is my video audit and review for Elite Defender. I like to do these on video so you can see some of the things I'm seeing as I discuss them. Now, I checked out Elite Defender. I'm a big basketball fan, so this was more exciting than it needed to be. But I see, just to start the video off, there are some things that you're doing that I really like. And that's really the videos. I see that you all have done a great job getting videos. I saw the video with Aaron Gordon, but like you had a mix. So you had the NBA player who's most NBA fans and basketball fans are probably familiar with, and then you interviewed other people. So I know you had a women's college basketball player on there. You had a few younger people on there. So I think those are really good because if it was just the guys, and that kind of alienates the women, so it's good you have a mix there. Other than that, I checked out your Facebook page, and a very good job. I see that you have been able to get quite a few likes on your page. Now, one thing I would say, since you're a product company and you're collecting reviews from people, I'll actually go in here and respond to every review, whether it's good or bad. I know some of these are, about 2 years old, but maybe going forward, this is something that you or someone on your team every week or every couple of weeks, you go in and just respond to people. That shows people who are not customers, they show that you are responsive, whether the feedback is good or bad. So that's always a good sign to someone looking to buy from you. Now I'm going to dig into my audit. And in this audit, I took a look at 5 different areas, and I'll go over each area here. And if there's something that you don't catch, don't worry. I'm going to send an email as a high-level summary of some of the key bullet points. But let's start with what's called the on-page SEO. And I'm not sure how familiar you are with SEO, but SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. And the goal of SEO is to get your website, your business more visibility online. And particularly, you want to rank well for different keywords. So I took your list of keywords. I built a longer list. Some of them, they might have been a little too general. So I found some things that might have been more specific and more aligned to the type of customers and type of web traffic that you're looking to get. Now, the first step, I ran an audit on your website in a tool called SEMrush. And this is what came back from the audit. So overall, you had a score of 87, which is really good. Just a few fixes here and there, and you'll easily get that into the 90s. So I think about it back in school, 80 is a B, 90 is an A. So we always want to get A's. But as far as these, I would definitely prioritize fixing the errors, and these are pretty simple. It looks like you have some duplicate meta descriptions and duplicate title tags. So meta descriptions are this little snippet of text right here. So you want to make sure that each page on your website has a unique meta description. And you want to make sure that, you should treat this almost as a mini advertisement for your website. So what can you say to people who are scrolling on the Google search results? What can you say to them to entice them to click to your website? Because this is really all competition. Whoever has the best title tag, whoever has the best meta description, and obviously it helps if you're ranked higher, they're going to get that click. And that's the first step to getting that new customer. So just always make sure that every page has a unique title tag and a unique meta description. And as you see, that was the other issue here. So warnings, they're important. Sometimes these are false positives, but you want to make sure, and I'll send this report over to you so you can look at each thing in detail. You want to make sure that you cover your warnings and take a look at your notices. But the priority should be fixing the errors. Now, so once you fix that, something else that I looked at on your website, it's called the structured data. And so structured data is also referred to as JSON LD schema. It's basically special snippets of code that you add to your website to give your website more context. So a human, when they go to your website, they can immediately see what your product is about, what your company is about. And when search engines, they use special computer systems called crawlers, and this is Google, Bing, Yahoo, all of the search engines work the same. Those search engine crawlers, they don't necessarily see this text on a website. What they're looking at is the code behind the website. This is what they read. And it's great you already have some schema here for your organization, for the website, but since you are selling products, I highly recommend that you add what's called product schema to your website. And if you ever seen, these different star ratings in the search results, that's all being governed by product schema. So that's why it's really important, because remember, this is a mini advertisement. Whatever you can do to stand out, but also abide by Google guidelines, that's what you want to do. And, even though all these websites are Amazon, this 4-star, even though it's a 4.6, it does stand out a bit. And so that's why you want to add the product schema to your website. Now, other than that, before I move on to the next area for discussion, you want to go through your title tags and make them a little more descriptive, because when you say Elite Defender, okay, what is that exactly? Obviously, that's your product name, but if someone who's not familiar with your product or your company, they might think you're talking about some of the elite defenders in the NBA. So, make that a little more descriptive. So something like Elite Defender, basketball training equipment for blank. And I think that would definitely be more descriptive, and that would tell people what to expect when they're clicking through to your website. Now, that wraps up on-page and technical SEO. The next area I wanted to go over is your conversion optimization. And so, in other words, this is different changes you can make to your website to get more people to buy. So picture this. So let's say out of every 100 people that visit your website, one person buys. I'm not sure what those actual numbers look like, but let's just, use this hypothetical example. So out of those 100 people, one person buys. So that's a 1% conversion rate. Now let's say you were able to increase that to 3%. So that sounds very small. That's only 2 more people, but you can imagine what an impact that would have on your bottom line. So SEO, it's all about getting more traffic to your website, but ultimately you want that traffic to convert and to buy from you. And so these are some things I'm thinking on how you can optimize your website for more conversion. So the first thing is I have to scroll all the way down here to buy. And even then, if I see shop here, I still have to click through to another page. What I always recommend for e-commerce companies is that you have something immediate that tells that person, hey, buy now. So let's say they've already familiar with your brand, your product. They're just trying to buy. Maybe they're on their lunch break and they're looking to buy this, for their kids, or, for one of their pupils. Doesn't matter. You want to make that action as easy as possible. And so having something here above the fold so people don't scroll, I think that would be a best way to go. So that's my first recommendation. My second recommendation, as I say, you have great testimonials, but someone has to click through all the way to the testimonials page, and they have to watch your videos to get those testimonials. What I recommend you do is add these somewhere here on the front page. And I understand the home page, you want it to look a certain way, you want a certain aesthetic. So, if anything, add one testimonial. And I would recommend adding the testimonial from Aaron Gordon. Again, most people are going to be familiar with him. He's won a slam dunk contest. He's a up and coming player. Add that testimonial here. Just maybe take a quote from what he said in the video and add it here with his picture. I think it'd be a great way to go as far as adding more credibility to your website and to your product right away. And again, if possible, I would try to add that above the fold before someone scrolls. But if you're short on space, add it, maybe here, on that second scroll. So that's my second recommendation. My third recommendation would be, this might not seem very important, but remember, people are very lazy. There's so much being thrown at them online. So this is why you need to make things as easy as possible for them. So when you go to your purchase page, there's no indication on what are your payment methods, your accepted payment methods. Preferably, you would have this somewhere even before they click that purchase button. So maybe, let's say if you were to keep this right here, under this purchase button, you have different credit card logos that you accept. And you can also include PayPal or Bitcoin, even if you accept Bitcoin. But you should have those different payment methods right there. And that's just, again, it's going to build some trust value. If they see that Visa icon, if they see that PayPal or MasterCard icon, they're going to say, oh, I'm very familiar with this. Okay, everything is good. Whenever you're looking at your website for conversion optimization, you want to eliminate any objection that someone might have to purchasing and purchasing quickly. Any objection. So those little things will add up, and I'm confident will help with your conversion optimization. So that's my third. Recommendation for conversion optimization. My fourth and last one is, and I'm not sure if this makes sense financially, but it's always good and puts the consumer at peace if you have some type of money back guarantee. So, something like if you're not happy with your product or the quality of the product, after 30 days, within the first 30 days, we'll provide your money back, no questions asked. Something like that. Again, that's something, especially when someone's buying online and your products, they aren't cheap. So someone, they're buying this for their kid for Christmas or something, having that type of guarantee, that's going to definitely put them more at peace, give them more peace of mind. So definitely, that's something I would consider. You can have it somewhere here, under the purchase buttons. You can have it on your checkout page, regardless. So those are my recommendations for conversion optimization. Now, moving on to content, and if there's any of these things I'm going over where I think you're going to have the most impact or see the most results from, it's going to be stepping up your content game. So when I did my keyword research, I saw a lot of searches for, how to do something. So how to get a better jump shot, how to get a better step back jump shot, how to improve my post game, basketball training programs, basketball training skills, basketball training drills. So a lot of people, they might not necessarily be looking for your product. They might be looking on how to do something better with their basketball repertoire. So you want to match that search intent with content that is going to address their problem. So let's say, for example, if someone, I drew this little diagram for you, there's someone searching online, either on Google or YouTube, on how to perfect their stump back jumper. So let's say you write an article and you include in that article, different pictures, different demonstrations. Let's say that you write that article. And then on top of that, you write 4 related articles. So this article should be very, what we call long form. So 1,500, 2,000 words. Basically, your approach with this is that you want it to be the best guide out there on improving your step back jumper. And let's say under that article, you have supporting articles. So you can say 10 nastiest step back moves in the NBA. These are the type of things people are searching for. Getting your footwork right for step back for your step back jumper. Doing a step back jumper while traveling. Best step back jumper drills. And so These articles, they don't have to be as long, maybe 750 to 1,000 words. But what you're essentially building here is a content silo. It's called a content silo. And these little lines here, these represent how you will link between the different articles. When I say link, if someone clicked on a link, it'll take them to another page on your website. And so since these are all linked together and they're all about the same topic, then Google and other search engines, they're going to review your website. They're going to say, oh, this particular company, this particular website, they have a lot of good content on step back jumpers and more of a how-to type of approach. Let's boost their topical relevancy for this article step back jumper. And then the way you can add even more value to this, create a video or share a video with each one of these pages. And that will really help you build that topical relevancy. That way, when someone is searching for anything about how to improve their step back jumper, you're going to show right up at the top of Google. And with those videos, you want to make sure that you embed those on YouTube. I see that you use Vimeo quite a bit. I like Vimeo. I think the presentation is cleaner compared to YouTube. But for SEO purposes and visibility purposes, YouTube is the better way to go because Google owns YouTube and YouTube itself is the second largest search engine. So if someone doesn't find you on Google, they'll probably find you on YouTube. And I'm sure you've seen this. If you Google perfect the step back jumper, all of these are YouTube videos. So that's where people are expecting when they are searching for things like this. And so even on the first page, at the very top where we have 3 videos. So if you can do the video and then combine that with the content that kind of gives people a step-by-step guide, that's definitely going to position you for success. And the way this works, so let's say I'm looking how to improve my step back jumper. I read your different articles, but hey, you happen to offer this product that I can use in my training to improve my step back jumper. Well, you've already built your trust and credibility with these informative articles. Why not give your product a try? And that's how you basically take someone who's never heard of you and convert them and walk them along that path to become a customer. So that's why content is very important. And that's just one category. I saw one of the guys, he talked a bit about how he used the Elite Defender to improve his post game. That can be a completely different category. So when you're looking at your content strategy, just brainstorm the different moves, the different areas where the Elite Defender can help. And then write content, create videos to match those different areas. And I definitely, if there's anything I recommend you do in 2019, it would be to put more focus on your content. And so that wraps up everything about the content piece of this video. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about off-page SEO. So if you remember at the start of this audit, I went into detail about the on-page piece. And so basically, what changes you need to actually make on a website to improve your SEO standing. Now for the off-page, this is everything off the website. And mostly this is dealing with link building. So link building, that's kind of where SEO crosses over with PR. So simple example of this, let's say I'm a basketball coach or I'm a basketball blogger, but I focus more on training and development. And I have a website and I come across the Elite Defender. I really like your content that you've written about Step Back Jumper. And I'm really interested in learning more about your product. And so I link back to your website from my website. So essentially voting that your website is good content, high quality, and giving you more authority. And typically how this might go for a e-commerce company, maybe you send that person a sample product to try out for a few weeks and they write a review or something. But when they like your product, they write that good review, Now, everyone who reads their website, they're going to see, oh, what's this about Elite Defender? Then they're going to click back to your website. So you're already positioning your brand to get more customers. And so a backlink strategy is very important. I saw what you already have, and honestly, I'm not sure if any of these backlinks that you do have are going to help you much. You see here this little DR that stands for domain rating, and that's on a scale of 0 to 100, with the higher the number, the more authority that website has. So I think you can go, one thing you can do is get a little more targeted with the people that you're getting backlinks from. You always want to go after people who are getting traffic to their website. And like I say, you want to go after basketball coaches. You want to go after people who train amateur and professional basketball players. Those are the people who have websites, and they're going to have readers who would be interested in your product. So that's how I would go about that. In my email, one thing I did, I looked at some of your competitors, and pretty much I did what's called a backlink gap analysis to see the websites that are linking out to them, they aren't linking out to you. And so these are good prospects to go after when you are ready to start doing outreach for backlinks. And for SEO, I already talked about the traffic piece, but SEO and specifically Google backlinks have always been a major part of their ranking algorithm, and that's probably never going to change. So backlinks right after content, I would say, would be my top priority if I was on your team. Now, finally, I'm going to go over a bit about paid promotions. And this is kind of stepping away from SEO, but all of these things overlap. So paid promotions, you can obviously go out to a website like Amazon. I didn't see any of your products there. But if the economics make sense, then highly recommended that you build some listings on Amazon, because SEO, social media, paid advertising, the ultimate goal is to boost your visibility online. And Amazon, I'm sure you know, is a very popular website. People go there for all types of products. So if you're able to get you a few listings there, get you some really good reviews, maybe run some paid ads, that can be a really good strategy to build brand awareness around the Elite Defender and Black Ops Sports. Your other option are Google Shopping ads. So Google Shopping ads, if you ever never noticed, they're going to be the second tab here. And basically, when someone goes to this tab, they have their credit card out. They're ready to buy something. You can already see these are some similar products. And so it looks like some of your competitors might be already running ads. So what I would do if this was an option you wanted to pursue, I'll kind of look at what are some of the words they're using in your ad. I'll actually click through to the website. What are some of the copy they're using? And all of this is competition. How can you write a better headline? How can you write a better description that's going to entice people to click your listing versus theirs? So that's another option for you, are Google Shopping ads. And then finally, you have Facebook ads. And so e-commerce companies, usually what they get wrong, they push their product. And obviously that's one of your goals, but it looks like you have the Elite Defender, but you have the Black Ops Sports company. So maybe in the future, you might want to offer other products for basketball players, or even branch outside of basketball. So the strategy that you should consider when doing Facebook ads, or really anything on Facebook or social media, always give away something for free. So maybe that's a 4 or 5 video training series on how to become better at baby hook shots. And then during those training videos, you introduce the Elite Defender and how it can be used to improve your players' baby hook shots. And then after that 4 or 5 video series, you've built that trust. People are confident that you know what you're talking about, then they'll be more likely to buy from you. And then, the biggest part of that is you want to collect their email. The email address is probably the best thing you can have with marketing, because once you get that email, you can market to that person today. You can market to them 5 or 10 years from now. 5 or 10 years from now, who knows? There might not be a Facebook, there might not be a Google, but email is probably going to be around. And so when you have that email address, that's a very valuable asset. And it's always something that you should try to capture. And the way you capture it while being spammy, while being annoying, is to provide something of value for free. And so that brings me to the end of the video. I hope these recommendations have been helpful, Alexander. And I know you had some questions about the budget, so I think that would be a better conversation to have over the phone. So I'll make sure to include a link to my calendar. I know it's the holidays, but maybe we can schedule some time in between Christmas and New Year's, or maybe after New Year's, so we can talk a little bit more about your strategy and your budget. But thanks again. Have a great Christmas, and I hope to hear from you soon.